This is the Temple of the Sun site. It's a Catholic church now. That's the original Inca wall.
Peru, but men don't like this style, and women adopted the man hat. And don't cover a lot. It's the reason the men don't like it, no? Because don't cover. Later, the Spaniards come. They use as a quarry, no, all the Inca temples around the city of Cusco to build churches, to build new constructions as soon as possible, to impose a new religion, a new culture. Right? The amazing thing of the Inca buildings in Cusco and in the whole area is that they are anti-seismic and they are surviving huge earthquakes. Since the Spaniards arrived Cusco, we know 2 big earthquakes destroyed the city of Cusco. We don't know before what happens. But the first one is 1650, when the Spaniards, with the Roman artery and the balcony, was built on top of the Inca wall before 1950. In 1950, the Catholic Church collapsed, and it's after the earthquake when those guys understand that they need to respect the local culture, and they liberated the new construction, the Inca wall. For a reason now is outside the church. Before that picture is the Inca and the Spanish construction, to see the 2 different styles. If you see the Inca constructions are always inclined, you see the Inca wall, and the Spanish construction behind this guy is supported. This is the main difference between the 2 constructions. And this is what you're going to see today in Cusco, guys, and tomorrow, and that tomorrow. Cusco is the first communion between Inca and Spanish on top. Tour, you've been in 3 UNESCO sites. Lima downtown area, Machu Picchu, and this. Right? Mortar, number 1. What more? 2 more. How the Spaniards destroyed the city of Cusco, the Inca city. They use as a quarry to build as soon as possible these big churches to impose a new religion and a new culture. They don't take care of the quality of the rock, they don't take care of the color and the size. Another rock has been recycled from an older Inca temple. We saw that in Ollantaytambo, and I told you that this is coming from Tiahuanacos, from a pre-Inca culture in the lake Titicaca. The strange thing is here and in Ollantaytambo, we never found the copper staples. Only Tiahuanaco. That is the strange thing. Maybe they melt down, or somebody take out, or disappear. Right? But this is an amazing similarity, no, with the Tiahuanacos. But all the rocks, guys, all the rocks were Inca before. All of them. All of them.
Inca wall. You can see the walls are slanted inward.
This, guys, is now the Temple of the Sun. You see the remains of those Inca temples. Pretty. Of course, the Spaniards come and they build some constructions on top, right? And those constructions were destroyed during what's called Inti-Can, right? Not Holy Can. Inti.
Temple of the Sun
How
here.
we can tell you today about the Incas if the Incas don't have a writing record, right? Because the oral tradition. And the first people to write the history of the Incas were the Spaniards arriving to do the conquest. And they are called the Spanish chronicles. But those guys also, the temples in the male side were covered with gold. And the temples on the left-hand side were covered with silver. Because gold have the same color of the sun flag, and silver have the same color. I'm sure they were looking like that, right? Because they were looking for gold.
Gold-plated with
And
gold
the sad part
plates
of the
hanging.
history, they melt down. All these beautiful things to send back to space.
Church where we're at are the Dominicans, and that's the hillsides where the poor people live. There's 2 remaining walls from the old Inca temples. One represents female silver, was covered with silver. The other one represents the male side, which was covered with gold, which of course was all taken off.
Of the Milky Way were made in silver, hanging with the strings from the ceiling of this place. nice, you know, how beautiful, and again, how they destroy it. Also, he says that here got a ceremonial niche. If you see the right side of the niche that's been restored, you see the work? The rock is new. Now you can see the difference of color. Because that part, that doorway collapsed. The Spaniards then came, they destroyed the temple, and they start to cover all the walls with plaster, you see? With stucco, plaster. Okay. Questions? And look how perfect. It's amazing.
The goat statue here, and the winter solstice would hit it and come in this room.
Angles, how many angles they have, how many inclinations on the whole place.
It's the same
Just
rock.
start with this chain in a line, guys, and come around.
One
the
rock
structure,
starts
finish
here,
the rock.
continues with this big angle. This with stone hammers and bronze chisels.
Have our constellations. At the Inca times they have different constellations, you know.
Including a rounded world with a rainbow, pre-Hispanic. The bearded god is the oblong one, the sun, the moon, Venus waning and waxing, seven sisters, Southern Cross, lake, tree, early people, the Pleiades, which are the seven sisters, and interact.
You'll pay. And the zigzag terraces we're going to see on top represents the hairs of the puma's head. And the main square, guys, is the heart of the puma, the more important part. From here, guys, we're leaving the 4 Inca trails to the different corners at the Inca's times. This is how was the plaza at the Inca's times. From the stream to where is the city hall today were just fields. The houses was there.
Central Square.
It's a beautiful square. And we feel proud of our
Oldest church in Cusco. It's Temple of the Sacred Family. No pictures inside. And there's also the oldest cemetery here with a cross. Inca wall that's been, the restaurant's been built. Celebration and dancing going on. It's be traditional. There's Central Plaza in Cusco with the open balconies. Used to be houses, now they're restaurants. Basilica, the Sacred Family, we went in today. There's a lot of gold and silver in there. And a black Christ, Christ of the earthquakes. And that's the competing Jesuit church. And then the whole square has flowers everywhere. Lots of flowers in a circle. Back into the fountain with the cathedral. Suits. And the Sacred Family Church Basilica, full of gold and silver artifacts. In this area, and you can see that it is leaning one way in, and also the blocks are very close together with no mortar, and it's withstood all kinds of earthquakes. Well, case I was thinking about getting weird hats, there's a bunch of tourists with weird hats. Church of and the Square of San Blas, and it's smaller than the other one. It's a lot of rain. This is the same plaza. We walked down and up to this church, and we just bought some souvenirs.